I remember the look in my father's eyes, the way he scoffed when I told him I was quitting my stable job to pursue game development. "You're wasting your life," he said, voice cold and dismissive. My mother shook her head, her disappointment thick enough to choke on. My siblings mocked me behind my back, calling my dream ridiculous and embarrassing. They said I was chasing fantasies, that I'd never make it, that I was deluded. They ridiculed me so often that I started doubting myself. Every late night, every failed prototype, every rejection letter felt like a blow to the heart, proof that I was foolish. I was labeled a failure before I even had a chance, but deep inside, I knew I had to prove them wrong, not just for myself, but to silence the voices that tried to drown me in doubt. I worked in silence, fueled by a stubborn fire that refused to die. I poured every ounce of my soul into my craft. I slept in my studio, ate instant noodles, sacrificed everything to build my vision. There were moments I wanted to give up, when my code wouldn't run right, when publishers rejected me, when I felt the crushing weight of rejection. But I refused to let their words define me. Every step forward was a middle finger to their cynicism. Years passed. I made my first game, then another. The industry took notice. Awards came. My name, once just a whisper in the shadows, now carried weight. I launched a successful studio, created worlds that millions of players lost themselves in. I became what I'd always dreamed, a recognized, respected creator. But the real victory wasn't the fame or the money. It was proving them wrong. It was standing tall despite their ridicule. And then, one day, I decided it was time to go home. Not out of desperation, but to show them the truth, the person I'd become, the life I'd built. I arrived at my childhood house, a new car gleaming under the driveway's sun. My heart pounded, not with nerves, but with the thrill of finality. I saw my reflection in the window as I approached. The man staring back was different from the boy they once mocked. Stronger, steadier, unbreakable. They opened the door in stunned silence. My mother's eyes widened, my father's jaw clenched. My siblings looked at me with a mixture of curiosity and disbelief. I stepped inside, my presence commanding, the echo of years of struggle behind me. Then I revealed what I'd become. I laid out my trophies, my awards, my studio's latest game, the millions of dollars I'd earned. I told them about the long nights, the sacrifices, the relentless pursuit of my passion. I watched their faces shift from skepticism to shock, then to something softer, something almost ashamed. But the moment that cut the deepest was when I finally looked into my mother's eyes and saw the tremor of recognition, her realization that I hadn't failed after all. And when I turned to my father, I saw the flicker of pride that he'd never admit out loud, but that burned quietly like a dying ember reignited. The room fell into silence. I waited. And then I spoke, my voice steady, unwavering. "All those years you told me I was wasting my time, that I was embarrassing the family, but I proved you wrong, not just to you, but to myself. Because I refuse to accept the world's limits. I refuse to let your doubts drown my dreams." The air was thick with unspoken truths. I saw the cracks in their armor, the regret, the acknowledgement that I had become what they never believed I could. I had returned not just as the person I fought to be, but as someone who had beaten the impossible. In that moment, I didn't need their approval. I had already earned it. I was standing tall, finally home, victorious, unbroken, a testament to perseverance. I turned away, knowing I had already won the greatest battle, one against their doubts and one for myself. And as I left that house for good, I knew my story was just beginning. This wasn't just about winning. They had helped me find the strength to rise from their rejection and forge a new life. A life where my dreams mattered, and no one could ever take that from me. I walked out into the sunlight, head high, heart full, knowing my journey had only just begun.